The Hebrew text in the Bible has hidden formats. By revealing these formats, I will prove the first writer's words were hidden from you. These formats look like poetry as I group them into small paragraphs. Their grouping will become known as a psalm, and together they become psalms. Let me show you our Creator's 12 commandments, listed in Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. Any father of a family or his wife who did not obey any one of these 12 commandments, our Creator demanded they bring him a sin offering. Thus, our Creator defined the word sin as not obeying any one of these 12 commandments. Next, I want to show you how I changed one word in Exodus 26, verse 26, the word bars to arches, and the words now reveal the style of the roof for our Creator's tent for meeting with Him. Let me show you the translator's words from the preface of the 1611 King James Bible. They gave 4 reasons for themselves or others to edit the Bible's words. The red arrow at the top points to their 3rd reason to edit the text. By the light and feeling we attained unto ourselves. The next red arrow down points to them giving the title, the Divine, to a clerk named Gregory. The next block of words, they point out they were happy that the first emperor of Rome established the year to the course of the sun. Behind this text means Nebuchadnezzar ordered his kingdom to follow our Creator's calendar when he stopped eating grass. Did you notice the letter S in sun is capitalized? This is to give respect to the Egyptian sun god Ra. Have you seen the Egyptian obelisk in the Vatican's front yard? The last arrow points to your reward for studying the Bible. Your reward is to have a fellowship with the saints and participation of a heavenly nature that will never fade away. There is no such thing as nature to a truthful Christian. Our Creator created everything. By their own words, they were not seeking to know our Creator or Jesus. Not everyone has the knowledge to correct every word. I have an old Bible program that has the New American Standard Bible 1977 concordance to help find a better word. Their concordance has the number of times they use that English word in a parenthesis for that Hebrew word. The translators removed his name, YHVH, to put in 2 titles, Lord and God. I replaced those titles using the letters Y and V as his name, for the Hebrew language does not have a J, O, or W. By using these 2 letters, I am closer to the truth than anyone using J, O, or W for his name. So why is there a single letter O in the Hebrew text 1,095 times? No proper English was used? The blue highlighted text is text that I am removing. The red highlighted words are little words that I'm adding. Gray italic words are words that I added. To respect and honor our Creator, all capital letters in purple are our Creator's words. This is Jesus' prophecy, for I am revealing the first writer's words to tell you the true truths about Jesus. As the text is revealed, you can taste the writer's style of wording. Their words will take your belief to trusting our Creator. You will be watching prophecy before your eyes as I edit true truths back into their psalms. Okay, had a little problem there. They put the wrong thumbnail up to begin with. This is going to be chapter, no, 29. This is chapter 28. I want to review this one. Confused myself. Chapter 28 had one error, and that was, this was a 4-verse, this is a 4-verse, but there needs to be something else put here because this, there's a story of why this guy's going to say these things, and actually that is the text that's in 27. But what you see here is when I go through and show you that how beautiful this format is, and it's a long time since I've worked on a 4-verse in Jeremiah. It's been probably 4 chapters. But what this, as you can see, what I'm doing here, let me blow it up a little bit here so you can see. Okay, this verse needs a comma, and let me put a comma there, and then a period. And then what happens is that when I put a comma here, it's connecting to, like this sentence goes up here, makes one long sentence, and then it repeats itself. Now what happens is this becomes a small paragraph. But when it repeats again, and you can see the subject is pretty much about the same thing, it becomes a larger paragraph. And that's why I have a double space between it. Now, this is unique. I don't think you've ever seen any other kind of writing like this in history. This is what I had from 28. Now, this is telling me a 4 verse, so maybe 4 verse does continue here in Jeremiah 29. So what I do is I just break down, like what I got over my head, I just break down these verses to the least amount of words as I can. I should have showed you that I'm looking for like 2 words, major words, and then these would be the least amount would be added in between. Sometimes they don't need it. Just like this one has 1, 2, 3. Well, what I do in that case is find one that's not needed and say I'm getting rid of it. Now these are the words from the letter, not of the letter, from the letter. Now, I try to say when I'm changing the text from one to another, I do it this way. If I'm adding a word, you'll see me have red highlighted text involved. If I'm completely needing a word, and that's what this video is about, is how I adjust the words so I can compile one long book without having to go search this, search that, search this. It'll be in complete order of of the first writer's formats. By proving there's first writer's formats, I'm also proving that those that are editing the text, even back in the manuscript days, were covering it up, but they started from somebody else's text, and that's very important. When somebody says, is the Bible true? Well, revealing these hidden formats are the first writer's words, and that is what will be true. All this other stuff them taken out, they put in for their God, because as you've seen in the intro, I know I messed that intro up, but it did start out that you've seen the 1611 preface. In my YouTube videos, in the description, I have a lot of that information, so if you wanted to look more over of the 1611 preface, I hope you do, because it will stun you. There's a lot of words that are just will pop out, like who is editing? The good guys aren't editing the Bible. So today, this is Jesus' prophecy happening right now, and this is correcting the text to tell the truth about Jesus and our Creator. So now these are the words from the letter Jeremiah the prophet sent from Jerusalem. Not to the rest of the elders. That a lot of times once you start understanding the format, you can tell which word is not needed. So to the elders of the exiled, if I put in, I can actually shorten the words up and say, get rid of the word the, okay? To the elders in exile. Now that looks like that looks like it's continuing, but I can't really tell. But it wouldn't be to the priests and prophets. They don't have any prophets up there that I know of. Jeremiah is the only one that's left. Let me show you here. Jeremiah, he starts prophesying right about in this middle of his 30 years, maybe right around the 10th year. And then he is going to be left on the land after Babylon takes everybody away. So the thing, or takes away whom our Creator wanted to save, and then they were going to be returning. So this is the letter that Jeremiah is writing to them. So now you know in the timeline, this letter is already, they're gone from the land Judah. Okay, so keep that in mind when we're reading this. So there were no prophets, and there were no more priests, because there was no more, I would call them higher priest. Now the priest might have been like, better word might have been teacher in the synagogues, or where they would gather to learn, because you got to realize they grew quite and populated quite well. So the thing here is the priests really are the ones that I call that are attending to the atonement in the courtyard in his house. So the thing here is I can't live with this verse here as being truthful, and to all this I'm adding, so that to all our people. They didn't talk to everybody else. They didn't go around and talk to Babylonians. Or so here it's our priests, or our people, whom Nebuchadnezzar had taken as captives. They were captives in, I don't think there's an I there. What am I doing? Captives when they were being taken away, okay? They were exiles when they got there. I use the words very truthfully at all times. That way people get a visual of the story and have an understanding of the true writer's text. Whom Nebuchadnezzar had taken captives. Yep. From Jerusalem to Babylon. Now, this is going to tell me, because this is the complete story, because now we have the letter and who's going to be taking it there. This text, when you see this, when you see a parenthesis around it, I think that's what that one's called. That text that's in those parentheses means that came from other manuscripts after the 1611 Bible was put together, that when they went through and looked at more, they said, okay, well, you guys didn't use this, we'll put it in. So the thing here is that's what it means. A lot of times that is completely wrong. And right now, I'll tell you, this king here, I don't think he ever existed, because it's very few times that he's even mentioned. So, but he has no story of what he did. It's just like after this guy, and then this guy's name, it says he's the king of Israel or of Judah, and that's it. Where all the other kings have stories, so of what they've done. So I've got to say, let me just go like this and start to see if it's a 3 verse. By doing that, and that's what it looks like it's going to be. Okay. So with that, I will say that this is going to be a statement, and then these 2 words here, or these 2 are going to connect together like this with a statement here. So this is what's going to repeat, and you can see that these 2 will these 2 are grouping together. Now, what I try to do is put another space in to help me remember what's going on, and so I can sit here and say, okay, I now have to look for the second part of this one here. And now it was the letter that was sent, but we already have, these are the words. So all of a sudden, they're introducing somebody who sent or who carried the letter up there. So if this starts the letter here, then they got a group together. So that means I've only got one grouping here that I can get. And you can see I don't need this. And that text is that color is there because that's what is been added in the 1977 NSAB, and that is the text that I'm using. Okay, so I would get rid of that. I don't need that. By the hand of I know that because I get to edit some of this, or edit it. I'm going to get rid of some of these to make it easier for everybody to read. So I'm going to get rid of this part of his name, Eli. Okay, Elisha. Anyways, okay. And it says he's going to have another one, somebody else. So we don't need this right now. And this. And this is the last king's name here. So we don't need any of this. By the hand of Elah, and I will shorten his name up. And actually, I've got to do something like this to try to connect the two words here. And then use the word sent to Babylon, saying. So I don't need this here. So, but this has to go. Now, was it saying? I don't think it was saying. I don't. If it was read, if the text would say if it was read, then that's different. By the hand of Eashoo. And I don't know who, this one has to be, and they read. And I'm going to add this, and they read. So let me bring this down so you can see it. Edit it. They read. Oh. And they read it. I guess I need the word it on the end. By the hand of sent. I have to add the word were sent. Were sent to Babylon to find them first. And they read it. Okay. So I'm changing this word. Okay. Now that I got some idea here that they're reading to them, that makes this group and this group as one. So I have a space here, and now I gotta say what they're writing. Usually thus it ends up to be this. So this was okay. Now, so that's because it's our creator, I gotta capitalize all the letters, so when you're reading the text, you understand that whose words these are. And it has to be not said but prophesied. Now I usually put by YV, but this time I'm not going to do that. Because it's not really God, it's the creator. He created Israel. So that you can find, I've done other explanations of why I do this. You can actually put in the title creator in the Genesis, and you will find that it reads better. Our creator created, and then it goes through the replace. He created the light, he created the heaven, he created, the expanse. So the thing here is not the creator, our creator. Make it first person by simply adding some beautiful small words, but they end up really making the text stand out. The creator of Israel. Okay, now this, yes, this is our creators. So here, when I'm talking about the nation, all the nation, like he brought them out from Egypt, they are all capital letters, and you understand this is Israel. Although I've been using that to be good, so I guess I don't need them bold. Well, I'll leave it like that color to understand that that's the nation Israel. Because I've been using it as the good nation, and then I guess I haven't decided quite truthfully how I'm balancing all these words out now that I'm thinking about it. Okay. I probably have. I haven't read my notes here lately. To all our exiles, to all our exiles. It wouldn't be third person real quick. I sent you into exile. That reads better. I sent you into exile. And they knew this, so this is nothing here. All right. That they would have known. That's just idiot extra words being put in. Build houses and live in them. Build houses and plant gardens. I guess the word live would be understood by build houses. And usually I use the word home to represent a small family and sons until they move out of the house. and daughters as well get married off. So I use that. Houses, or a house, would have like servants. So it's just kind of letting people know that when they read the word again, there is a meaning behind the word. Build homes. Whoops. Yeah, I guess ES. And plant gardens. They're going to do this automatically. Now, they can't take wives from Babylon, okay? So this text is starting to make me wonder what's going on here. But this, again, is two verses that are going to hook together, two psalms that are going to hook together. Yeah, by the way, this grouping is known as a psalm, and then you write psalms, this pattern of this. Take wives and become... Take from yours for wives. That has to be stated. Otherwise, it's against his commandment. So I can't, or his command. You'll read more about that when you read Ezra. Let me put Ezra up here, off to the side here. There's what Ezra looks like when I got done with it. And I still got some yellow text, means I got to check those. That's just my code. But when you take screenshots of that and you read it, you'll see that there was a problem when they were coming out of Egypt, that they married Egyptian wives. Yes. Take from yours for wives. This has to be, that's got to be wrong. For your sons to be fathers. And this how come I didn't grab that? For his sons. Now this is where I added a word, so I make it italic and then I make it gray. Now that means that needed to be the correcting of the text completely. For your sons to be fathers of sons and daughters. Now that is a good verse, okay. Now, why is it repeating? These two, they seem to want to hook together and multiply there. It has to be, so yours does not decrease. So and multiply there. So that hooks with this. That they, not that they might, that they, I can put have here, And that's pretty much replacing that word, have sons and daughters, period. This has to be 2 to read smoothly. That they may have sons and daughters to multiply theirs, so yours does not decrease. Now that was the double space. That's one. Now this is a double space. All right. Now let me. Okay, YouTube's still hanging in there with me. My old computer. I'm getting a new one. Hey, I got it over on the table. Ordering parts that aren't fitting. They're wrong parts. Hopefully, within a week, I'll start putting everything together a little bit better. And seek the welfare of the city where you have been sent into exiles, and pray to YV on behalf of its welfare, and you have welfare. No. This might be true that our Creator has set the example here that when you leave your land and go someplace else, He is going to keep blessing you. Only our Creator can bless you. Bless you means to prosper your family. Okay? And by that, you are to seek the welfare of the city or of the land that you're living in. So in other words, it means don't try to do any harm. Okay? Seek for the welfare. Seek for the welfare. This has to be seek for the welfare. I sent you into exile. And I could do wherever. Is it one word? Oh, yes, it is. Wherever so seek for the welfare. Yeah, it's not this. This has to be of that kingdom. And then this is not connecting. Seek for the welfare. Seek. Let me see what the secular world says for seek. Okay. Work towards. And I just like the word work, if not than anything. Okay, and now I want to go over to Is my button working today? No, it's not. I don't know what's going on. But I'm having a hard time going like here to come over here to this program to show you that if I go to verse 7, and let's see, 7 starts out, oh, I'm on 29, that's why. Let me get to the right one. And I can actually get that up there. Seek. You can see how many times I use this word 53 times for seek, and then sometimes only 3 or 1. Now it says ask. That isn't good. I call it care. Care for. I like that. Care for. Now, when they put 2 words like that, that usually means that this here Hebrew word is a double up here. But I like the word care for. So now let me get back on here. Because when I do this that way, it's kind of really, well, I already got the word for there, so care for the welfare and care for the welfare of that kingdom wherever I sent you. That is not wherever I sent you into exile. I guess that's the 3 verse. And seek for the welfare of the kingdom wherever I sent you into exile. This is, and pray means to talk, and talk to me, and talk. He's reading it, so it's going to be talk. So if he's reading it, it would be saying, and to pray to YV. No, that isn't going to be it. This has already been said, so this would be out. But the thing here is I can't use this to connect to the next one here. And this would be the one that's connecting to above, so I don't need a space there. Now this, they are going to have, they're all divided up. Okay, they're all scattered around. Some are going to be put together, but they are going to have their own diviners and people talking about they're captives. I mean, they're servants for for Babylon. So this is just out. That just oversalted extra words that are not. And still, this is, yes, that's still the same thing. Don't need that. I sent you to exile. I'm going to say that's out. And in Whoops. I pushed all caps here. And when 7 tens, that's 70 years. Okay. 10 years. Have been completed. I will visit you. It has to be in Babylon, so it won't take this long before he's going to visit. I added this, so I'm going to say no, I'm going to add the word for. In, I guess I need that word as well. Well, if I do this, for in 7 years, or when would be after. After is like the word when, so after 7 years. So I don't need these now. After 7, so you can see what I need to have been completed. After 7 years have been completed, I can think of one other word that's better than that, past. So that after 7 years have passed, in Babylon I will visit you. That's pretty good. that's tied to here, to there. You know, that's the thing. Let me show you what's unique, because if you want to understand what's very unique about style of writer, and I only noticed it, I think, in the last one. Let me pull up this last text right now just to show you what I'm looking for here. This right here. These two groups really don't go together as this is saying this and this is saying that. But they connect together so well. I said that the story is complete. This is like the end of the story, and this is like starting. So you see how these are, that's like I said at that time when I seen that, that is a style of that writer that writes like that. I've done these over 30 years. And now watch this. It's still here with these two. Seek the welfare. I sent you into exile. After 7 years passed, I will visit. The subject matter changes in the middle. I mean, he's saying this, but it's changing the subject abruptly. Well, maybe it's not as much as I thought it was. Not as much as that. But I was hoping that I didn't make an error like that. But anyways, that's how you look for the same writer who said the same thing or who wrote the same words. So Because I have not, after all these years of doing this, I have yet to figure out who's writing in 3-verse and who's writing in 4-verse. Is the 3-verse written by the person who, like Jeremiah wrote this, and then the one who wrote for Jeremiah wrote in 4-verse? I got to really seriously look at Jeremiah and Jeremiah's text. Okay. And I will. Now this has got to be saying they're going to be returning. Yeah, bring you back. Then I will visit you to fulfill my promise. To you and and bring. It's got to be yours back. He's just told him to multiply. Oops, first got to be this way and then get the green on it. Bring your back. This place, this is wrong. This is our creator. Bring you back to I'm going to start with your land for inheritance is the best I can think of. Inheritance. That's pretty bad, but that's what spell check does. Okay. Now that's more properly said than I think 2 was there, so I think I added this. Oops, added that. I can't remember if I added it or not. I'm going to say I added it. And I think on this word, I think I added it. No, I added that as well. This place to your. Okay, here's where I added the word are here. To your land for your inheritance. You are to know my plans. Oh. Well, let's put it this way. For you are to know my plan. For you. For you are to know my plans for you. If I put the word are here, are for, I have to use the word also here as for your welfare. To give you a future with hope. But it's not hope. I can't do that. I can't use the word hope. Are for your welfare to give you a future. Look, Jesus is coming. How do I put that in here? For your welfare to give you salvation from your King. To give you or to send you. Are for your welfare to send you. Not give, send. Send. And you wouldn't be here anymore. Are for your welfare to send. Well, I guess. Oh, okay. YouTube, I wasn't paying attention over there. It says my bit rate is at 47. And yet I'm only doing 30 frames per second, so I got to take a look at this output. Okay, I'm going to bring it up to 8. And it's supposed to reconnect, so I found that it is. Well, I'm hoping that it's set up better. Because if I push too much, Twitch shuts me down. Twitch only wants 4,000 KBs. So it looks like I haven't been disconnected yet. Oh, let me see here. Okay, it just says excellent still because they've had time to get that going. And let me get rid of Ezra here. Let me get my cover here. Maybe that's what's okay. Excellent. No. Okay. Here YouTube is now, but it says excellent. And my stream is now excellent, from poor to excellent. Caught that in time this time. So, all right. You and well, my plans for you are for your welfare to send and your and I'm going to get rid of all this. So I might as well do that on the next, do that and say this is out. Your save IOR Savior and King. Now that's more like, but King, and I've got to do this and this. And now that's truthful. That's the first big correction I needed to do today. Now that means I've got to find the next two here. You can't find our creator, so we know that this is wrong. But this is the end here. Because why say anything after this point? And that would be a strong message to them. Yeah, live there, do this, and then I will visit, and then, okay, so this isn't needed then. Declares, will restore your fortunes and gather you from all nations. That's already said, bring yours back, right here. So that is not needed. That's just more repeating of the same thing. This prophets, Daniel is going to be a prophet because he's going to interpret the king's dreams. But he doesn't need to state this. That's how they're going to know they're visiting. And the word visiting would understand that they now have a prophet in Babylon. So I'm thinking this verse isn't needed to be repeated, because when I say it's being visited, how would they know that's our creator? They're going to know by the king announcing that after he gets done eating grass that, hey, the whole kingdom now is on our creator's calendar, the Hebrew calendar that was brought or created by the creator, or he would say God, for the Israelis. Okay. The race is Hebrew, but there was changed to Israelis are the ones who are most obedient to our Creator. So just for you to understand the terminology difference there. And this is needed. That's just kind of, I'm sending upon them a sword and famine. That isn't true. That was never true. Famine, pestilence, curse the horn. That's not true. Boy, they added a lot of stuff here that's just not. Because I have not listened to my word declared. This is not true either. But maybe the subject matter has changed. I've thrown out a lot. So what's... Maybe the story has changed. I'm still getting rid of those. There's nothing really new here. See, this isn't like an introductory to a new story. Restore your fortunes. That isn't going to happen. This is going to happen. Welfare to send your Savior and King. Bring yours back. That's pretty much been said. This, I'm pretty sure, that text is so familiar, it's like I already done this. So let me see here. How do I want to search this? Because they're prophets and servants. The guys that are going to get thrown into the fire, those are servants for our Creator, because they didn't prophesy anything. But Daniel is the prophet that he's going to be speaking to with Nebuchadnezzar, his son, and Darius, I guess. I don't think... This seems to be the only thing true, possible true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it 9 point and I'm going to make it yellow. That way, when I do my cleanup, I still have that text there. And if I need it, I'll come back and look for it. Yeah. They're already in, but yeah, see, they're already in captivity. And now and this is only chapter 29, and there's 60. So we're going to be back in Babylon, or back in Judah here. So now the thing here is open figs and split figs. This has already been discussed as figs. As good figs, he's going to save them as captives, and the ones that are rotten, he's going to get rid of. So this has already been said. So pretty much this has been said. So I don't think I'm pretty sure what I'm talking about here. Yeah, because they're going to be a reproach after they're given away if you don't. This is known as a desolation. So I know I've used the word desolation. Uh, uh, so that, okay. Again and again, I know I've done that before. So I'm going to get rid of that text. Now, see here, this is what they're doing. They're repeating what just has happened in the same thing. Okay, now I'll tell you what, that guy he had killed, he actually blinded him. I think he blinded this king and then took him up a little bit farther, and then Nebuchadnezzar killed him. Uh, that isn't true. This isn't true. Now, this is a king, okay? But that was on the Israeli side, or the nation Israel side, a long time ago. So this guy is going to be dead. I will slay them before your eyes. Okay, out of everything, this was the most truthful here. Okay, and this, get rid of. And he is not prophesying falsely in his name. Now this, and this is definitely out. Well, it has to be this was. So let me do this was. I'll put in the word by just to see where it's going here. This was prophesied. By YV, our Lord. Now change this title from here to Lord, because he is the provider and giver of, like, head of the family is the way the word leader is being used, or his title leader. By YV, our Lord, concerning Zedek. Behold, I will deliver him I will deliver him, because I'm thinking if it depends on how I'm using the word him or you. I think I'm just going to stick to him right now. Him. Behold, I will give you. Now, see, that's what it is. It needs to be you. Deliver is what I'm using as being saved from the enemy. Using that type of word, delivery, meaning saved from the enemy. Here, I gotta say, I will give you over, because the word give means give, okay? Give you, or I'll give him, I guess. Behold, I will give you into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, and he will slay you. Now, this is saying it a little different than I know the story. He will slay your sons before your eyes. I will give yours. Well, not the word behold, and I could add the word sons after this. And then this would be me adding it. I will give your sons into the king, into the hand for Nebuchadnezzar, and slay them before your eyes, and kill them. Now that I know is true there. Okay. Kill them before you. Don't need your eyes, don't need this. Into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, and kill them before you. All I needed was the word son to make everything truthful. Yeah, I got double space there, so this is all new story here. So let me do that by saying here, and then this is that verse that goes there. Nobody gets roasted in the fire. Roasted is to like cook for meat. Thrown into the fire, that would be more the truthful word, but there is no story of Ahab being thrown into the fire, because actually his son took over for him. This was like at Elijah's time. So I don't see anything as is true. As they have acted foolish in Israel and have committed. This is kind of just rambling on. Now here's a new prophet being, no, because if you sent letters in your own name to, he killed all those people down there. Those were a remnant. So this guy is left on the land later. So okay. I think this guy's a prophet. Let me check my stuff here. No, I got Zechariah. Zechariah is a prophet that is being left in the land, okay, with the remnant of people. And now I better check to see what's going on here. Okay, I'm still getting excellent there. So, okay, now what I'm seeing here is there's a huge delay going on. For YouTube, sorry about that. I guess that's what happens when you start getting, I don't know what they call that, stuttering. So I think you've fallen back by about 20 seconds, about 30, 40 seconds now into Zephaniah. I can't say that that's good. So now this guy, YHVH has made you priest. And this would have to be, like, if he's making him, he's going to make him the highest priest. Because he's only one person, so he's going to note him out. And it's going to be, YHVH has made you is. So these words are coming from nowhere. And this, because I'm going to use it. Because you have to understand there are differences in the priest. And this is where I was confused, or not confused. I have a hard time has picked you, not made you, picked. Has picked you as his highest priest. Okay, now that as his highest priest. So that way I have to maybe just say that I need it as added. Now that I've got this correct here, his highest priest. Now that as priest is big. Now this, maybe I got to get rid of this and this and say this. This is who you're talking to. And this is not me. He has picked you, whatever. And I still have to put as his highest priest. As his highest priest. And that's why I've got to connect them to say that. I guess I'll make it gray to say that I've added, but I can't say that not the overseer. The overseer is pretty much because this text, I guess I should tell you where this text is coming from. This text is talking about when they actually sent back to the land after Babylon. Boy, you're going to have to trust me, and when you see all the text put together, that the prophet is going to be the overseer. So that's going to be Zekiah, Zechariah. There we go. That's why I'm trying to change the names, so make it easier for people in the future. It's heck on my little brain here. For, not in, for. See, now they're rebuilding the house for our Creator here. So he's kind of been, he's going to be overseeing the rebuilding maybe, but right now he's being told, or again, because since I already know that I've done this text, but I will use the best of the two because it's going to be built again. So 4YV. YV has picked this as praised for the house for YV. Now that's, I know I've added that text before, or like it. Madman who prophesizes. You don't know if the prophet is a prophet, and we learned this just in the last couple chapters. Jeremiah tells them that a prophet prophesizes, and you don't know he's a prophet until after it happens. Then when it happens, then you get to call him a prophet. So that's, they wouldn't be locking him up anyways. They're only just one person making a statement. Now that you have been rebuked, Jeremiah, rebuke Jeremiah, who prophesies. No. For he sent us to Babylon. Now, there was a story before in Jeremiah that Hane, I was just telling you when I introduced you to this video, that guy was arguing with what was Jeremiah had said. So this is like replaying this story, saying it again. And Jeremiah is not from this place. He's from, because I have a hard time with these names for cities. I would just say that the text says he's from Benjamin. So this has got to be wrong. But why do I need a repeat? See, that we just had that Jeremiah just sent this up here. And we wouldn't know that unless we read that that's what he did. But Jeremiah is in who is able to say this about Jeremiah to people there that are left in the land? Because you can't rebuke him if you know that he's a prophet because he said this. This can't, this is what they're going to do, but you can't come back here and check if you're still in the land as the remaining. So I'm going to say this is out. Just because it's telling me these words have already been said and can't be said in this order. This, now this is being read in the land after Babylon. Okay, so here, there are no more priests. That's what, no. And so he can't have a false prophet. I don't see that story. I don't see that as true then. I don't see this. They're using just a different name about a different story, and the other story is told better. So, that's out. But that's, I guess that's what I'm doing these for, is to let you know this is what I know. Now, and I'm going to save that. Now, what I'm going to do is bring it up and put it in this text here. Yeah, because see, he's going to die, and then he died within that year he dies. And this was about them going into Babylon. So there's no more priests. They're all gone. So the thing there is what am I arguing for myself for? A lot of text did get thrown out of this one. Okay. 1, 2. This is supposed to be 1 if I'd done it right. I guess this is the style of what I was talking about. Because it skips over. Yeah, this is the same style of writer, but he wrote in a 4-verse format. And now he's writing in a 3-verse. I still don't understand that secret. And then 2. And then this has to be 1. And this has to be 2. This is 1. Okay, oh, there's more here. Oh, that's the part that I said I don't know about, so let me just put that in yellow to make my eye really stand out. This is 2. Yeah, this ended up just being a piece out in the middle of nowhere. Okay. So, but that, okay. And I promised you I'd try to slow it down for you to have a screenshot and take a look at it. Let's see, that's kind of what's I'm seeing on the screen. So what I'll do is give myself a marker. And yeah, that's the rest of the text. All right, now yeah, my mic needed a little bit to cut the weed whacker guy sound out for right now, but that's today's or the morning video. I know I'm going to make a few more quicker. These are only less than an hour and a half, and I try to do 3.5 hours. But anyways, you got to see Jeremiah go together in our Creator's words way after the text. Okay, it's going to keep cutting it out. That's good. That it is text that's after they've been sent to Babylon. Jeremiah's writing to them. Now we're going to go into chapter 30, and I don't know where it's going to start. Let me just see. He's going to bring them back again. He's going to repeat again, bring them back. So, but this isn't a 4-verse again. So that looks 4-verse. I guess when I was cutting it up, it was happening that way. Anyways, 30 will be later today. And at some point, I'm going to be gone for a couple days. Got to get that computer together. Let's see. I got to stop it here first.